All right, Lime Rock in the trucks. So, yes, I did do 90 laps of this. Not really. It was more like 90 attempts, but I did default for everything. I didn't feel like I needed anything here, so I'm just gonna play the lap through, and then we'll talk about the lap and basically long run strategies. But really, it's just running the lines without sliding your tires. But we'll get into that in a bit. Oh, okay. Now we're here. All right, let's go over that lap. So, first off, I find that I can brake just a little bit before the 5, but if you want to be safe, I'd brake around the 6. And because it's gonna um, kind of lock up your tires as you're getting into this dip right here if you're carrying too much speed. So I found that I could have really secure entrances braking around 6 and only being a little bit slower lap time wise. This is for qualifying though. I can max out my braking with the straight wheel at around 80%, maybe 90. And then as I start to turn in, I trail off the brake and then I brake through. So I diamond this corner. I brake through the initial apex. Then I start rolling my partial throttle. And if everything goes right, I want to apex as close to the end of this curb as possible. It's very hard to apex at the end of that second curb because basically if you have to carry enough speed to where you apex late, but if you carry too much speed, you're off the track. So this is about as late as I've gotten it. You can probably do a little bit more with a little bit more efficient braking, trail braking, but full brake, trail off as you turn, brake through the apex, then start to roll throttle, get the car turned back down. I'm pumping out of the throttle and a little bit just to help the car rotate when I really need it to. Like, okay, I need to turn right there. Whoop, right there. And then I'm out of the corner. You don't want to track all the way outside because then you won't have enough time to set up for the next corner. So that's why I'm trying to apex as late in this curve as possible, because I want to set up as far right as I can here. I'm trying to hammer the throttle a little bit, but you can't really go that hard on it. Okay, next corner. Going for a late apex. I screw up just a tiny bit here. I almost get an off track. Clipping the grass here is really good in my opinion, just a little bit. But I want to do it a little bit later in the corner of this. I apex just slightly too early, and what that does is that spits me out too far to the right here. I want to be farther to the left here for the next corner. But idea was okay. Start wide. And actually, sometimes I did shallow too, and it seemed just fine. But wide was just a little bit faster. But you see how I could only set up for this next right-hander, middle of the track. I really want to be far left here. So that was my mistake here. So even though this was fast through here, probably cost me about a tenth and a half through here. So, and this is all second gear, by the way. Sorry, I should talk about gears. So fourth, third, second, hold second, 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 still second here. Keep it, keep it, keep it, keep it. And then you have a choice here. Sometimes I like to go into third here because it helps me hook up for the corner exit. But I think it's technically faster to keep it in second all the way through here. So, but you have a choice. I would say in the race, definitely go to third. Maybe even before here, like right here, because that helps you not slide your rear tire and heat it up. And that's going to be important for the race. But anyways, I keep through second through here. Have to do a little lift. This dip right here is really bad on the truck. This right here. So like you see how I straighten out my wheel like just for an instant as I dip into there? That was so that I don't spin out, because you can literally spin out here if you're not careful. Okay. Now brake earlier than you expect here. If you're at the curb, it's too late and you're not gonna make it. So I'm braking quite a bit before the curb, and I'm just like almost dragging. This car does not want to turn right. So you gotta really help it out. Drag right, kind of meet the curb on entry, and then straighten out the car over the hill. So you want to carry as much speed as you can up until this point, and then just straighten the car out. If you have any wheel over the hill, you will die. Early, straighten early, keep the momentum over. I can push that probably 1 to 2 tenths more than I did there, but this is like safe. This is like lock it in. All right. Then once again, we're braking earlier than we expect here. This car hates this corner. I probably could have broke a little bit longer here, but this car does not like turning right. You can see how tight I get there. Probably needed to brake a little bit longer there. Trail brake a little bit longer. But, yeah. And then finally here. So this is all third, by the way. All third. Don't throw it into second here. Not worth it. All third, all third. So we're only doing a couple shifts this whole lap. We go fourth to second in the first corner, then second to third in the S's, and then third to fourth on the straightaway. But anyway, last corner. I start braking right at the bottom of the downhill, just a little drag, because I'm really just trying to get the car rotated so that I can just throttle through this curb. The best lap times you're going to get are when you can throttle through this curb. And you can only achieve that if your car is rotating. So if you're too late turning, it's not going to work. You can see how loose I get because I'm throttling through the curb and getting the car on the loose condition. And 5290. Bobby Z can go a second faster than that, but man, I'm tapped out. My optimal's a 52.6, but yeah, not going to get too much better for me. In terms of the race, I would keep it in third everywhere except, so like I would consider keeping it in third through the first corner. I would consider keeping it third through here, although it might not turn as well. And then maybe second through this corner, but being really careful. And then getting into third, and then just trying to do as much of this track in third as possible. That's where you're going to be okay on your tires, because you just don't want to slide your right rear. That's going to be the killer for this track. But yeah. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day. Hope to see you all on the track.